Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Wednesday, March 7th. We have 7 games today on a Wednesday, so a decent sized slate. Now before we do get started, guys, I would really appreciate it if you drop a like on the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you'll never miss out on any of my new uploads. I am recording today's video a little bit later than normal, so I'm probably going to go a little bit quicker than I normally do. I'm still going to go through each position and give my 5 plays, but we'll definitely try and speed things up a bit. But starting off at point guard, on today's 7-game slate, we got James Harden up top here. I'm not sure if I really want to pay up for Harden today. Houston's on a back-to-back. This is a matchup against Milwaukee that I think Harden can obviously have some success in, but there are other studs I like on this slate. We have LeBron on this slate. I would prefer Anthony Davis going up against the Kings. I would also prefer as well. The Pelicans are on a back-to-back as well, but I'd still prefer AD over Harden. So not really going to be paying up for Harden. Don't like a lot of the stud options up top at point guard. I think this mid-range is where we can definitely go. A guy like Lonzo Ball kind of sticks out to me in the mid-range in a matchup against the Magic. The Magic, they do really struggle defensively against the point guard, so this is a good spot for Lonzo. He's only 7,400, and I think that is a pretty nice price tag. Lonzo has a lot of upside. We know this guy. Obviously, he's not the best shooter, but he can rack up the peripherals, can easily get a triple-double. He can get assists, will grab rebounds as well. Has 50, 60, 70-point upside. We've seen him put up big games like that, 52 driving points against the Spurs. This could definitely be one of those games where Lonzo goes off for like 50 DK points. So I do like him here in that mid-range. I'm not going to plug him into 5 because there are other guys I like that are a little bit cheaper, but Lonzo at 7,400 against the Magic definitely sticks out to me. But in this 6K range, a guy that I was pretty heavy on Tuesday night, not really sure how he's doing because that game just started. The Pelicans-Clippers game is going on as I'm recording this video, but Rondo at 6,400, I really like him here, even though the Pelicans are on a back-to-back. If Rondo has a solid game Tuesday night, I know he did get off to a pretty hot start. I think he had like 12 DraftKings points through like 3 minutes. If Rondo plays well Tuesday night, even if he struggles, I think we can still go back to the well on Rondo. He's playing big minutes now, which is something we'd like to see. He's playing over 30 minutes a night. Even on back-to-back, you can see right here on the back-to-back, the 25th and the 26th, they played back-to-back, and Rondo played 36 minutes in both games, so I'm not really worried about his minutes being limited. Great matchup against the Kings, a bad defensive team. Just really like Rondo. I think he's too cheap for how well he's been playing for the minutes he's getting, and he's a guy in that 6K price range that I absolutely love today. And then if we're trying to find value in like this 5K range and go cheap, De'Aaron Fox, you can maybe play in tournaments against the Pelicans. Great matchup there. The Pelicans are like leading the NBA right now in pace. They're playing at such a fast pace ever since they lost Boogie. So this is going to be a spot for the Kings where they are playing up in pace. So you could go to Fox at 5,600. But then if we want to go sub 5K and try and find cheap value, DJ Augustin against the Lakers could definitely be a cheap play. He's been seeing solid minutes lately. About 30 minutes a night, 29, 29, 41, 29 minutes. Last 4 games, can easily get you 25 to 30 DK points in this spot and pay off this price tag. This game against the Lakers will be played at a fast pace. The Magic and Lakers both play at pretty fast paces, so I like DJ Augustin if you're going cheap at point guard. Just 5K, I think he is an option that you can go to. And it's sub 5K, maybe Fred VanVleet at 4,400. He had a pretty solid game on Tuesday night. You could maybe play him at 4,400. The Memphis backcourt is really injury depleted right now. I'm not sure if I want to consider Wayne Selden just because he's not getting the minutes. We maybe can go to some of the shooting guards from Memphis, like Harrison, Tyreek, Mario Chalmers. All those guys are still going to be out today, so Memphis could see some value there. But that's it for point guard value that really sticks out to me. So moving on to shooting guard and looking at some of the top options here. Not really a position I'm paying up, like Oladipo, Harden, Holiday. Don't think these are guys I'm forcing in today. Maybe Eric Bledsoe against Houston, fast-paced game there. You could play Bledsoe at 7,500, but again, he's not really a guy I feel like I have to have. If we go to the 6K range, kind of look for some options here. Maybe KCP at 6,200 you could play. Great matchup here against the Magic. He's been playing pretty well lately. His last 2 games, 45, 34 DraftKings points, been playing big minutes in competitive games. KCP's playing over 40 minutes. And if this game does stay competitive against the Magic, you would imagine that KCP is going to play some big minutes here. So you could go to him at 6,200 in that mid-range at shooting guard. He is an option that stands out to me. But this is a position I like some value. If we go sub 5K, I think there's some cheap value we can definitely target from Memphis. Ben McLemore, I was really high on him Monday night. Got late scratched, pretty annoying. I'm going back to the well though today against the Bulls. He's not on the injury report, as you can see here. He isn't on the injury report for Wednesday's matchup with the Bulls, so he's expected to play. Shouldn't see a late scratch. And if Ben McLemore plays and plays full minutes here, he should easily be able to pay off this price. I have a good feeling he's going to play almost 40 minutes, if not 30, 35. I pretty much guarantee 30 to 35 minutes from Ben McLemore here. Great matchup against the Bulls. The backcourt for Memphis just so depleted right now. A lot of guys are injured. Guys like Ben McLemore are going to have to play really big minutes. And it's just 4,500. I think he is a little bit too cheap. So I like him if you're going sub 5K at shooting guard. Maybe you could go to Dillon Brooks at 4,200. He's another guy that's going to have to play big minutes. Kobe Simmons as well. Not really sure how Simmons did. He played 26 minutes last game against the Spurs, 26 DraftKings points. Obviously, McLemore didn't play. Maybe you could go to Kobe Simmons if you're trying to go cheap here. Dillon Brooks, we'll see how he did. 35 minutes, 26 DK points. So you definitely got some value here from Memphis, from their backcourt, if you want to go to them at shooting guard. But that's it for this position. So let's go ahead and move on to small forward. Up top here, we got LeBron and Giannis. LeBron's facing Denver. Giannis is in a matchup against Houston. I do like both guys here, but LeBron just feel like he's too good of a play right now. 11,400 is too cheap of a price for LeBron. The guy's been so solid, giving you such a good floor. In his last game against Detroit, only played 29 minutes because the game blew out, and still put up 53 DraftKings points, so he still returned value on this price. I honestly think you should be building your cash game lineup around LeBron today. I'd prefer him over Anthony Davis. I just think LeBron, just such a high floor. He's pretty much guaranteed for 50 DraftKings points if the game stays competitive. This game against Denver, playing in Denver, should definitely be a competitive game. So, love LeBron today. Think he's a great cash play for tournaments. You can go there as well. Maybe if you want to take the discount in tournaments and go with Giannis. Giannis just does have as much upside as LeBron. I'd prefer LeBron in cash, but Giannis is 1K cheaper. You do get some nice savings there. So you could go to him at 10-4 against Houston. Fast-paced game there. Don't mind Giannis as well. Guys like Aaron Gordon, they're a little bit cheaper. I do like against the Lakers, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing them like over LeBron. If I'm just paying up at small forward, I want LeBron, I want Giannis, and Aaron Gordon. You do get like $3,000 in savings. You could play him in a tournament, but if I'm paying up here, kind of just want the top guys. So if we go like this mid-range, not a lot of options here. I feel like I have to have like KCP. You could play a small forward. Maybe a guy like Wilson Chandler. I know he played pretty well on Tuesday. Denver is on a back-to-back. We could play Wilson Chandler here at 5,200. Even with Paul Millsap in the lineup, Chandler still been playing some solid minutes. And in a matchup against Cleveland, you can play Chandler here. He did put up 25 DraftKings points in 27 minutes when these teams did just face off a couple days ago. So I don't mind Chandler at 5,200 if you're going cheap at small forward. Maybe Trevor ARIZA at 4,900. He had a pretty nice game for us on Tuesday. I really liked him as a value option. This could be a spot where ARIZA plays some nice minutes. Going up against Giannis, you would imagine ARIZA going to be a guy they need to defend Giannis. He did play 41 minutes earlier this year against the Bucks, 24 DraftKings points. You could go to ARIZA at 4,900 if you're really kind of just punting this position. You got Dillon Brooks, who you could play from Memphis, who I don't mind either, at 4,200. But I think that's it for small forward for the cheap value. So let's go ahead and move on to power forward. We've got Anthony Davis, a stud option here in a matchup against the Kings. This is obviously a great spot for Anthony Davis. He could absolutely go off in this matchup. But I just think I'd prefer LeBron. I think LeBron's actually a safer play than AD right now. AD probably has more upside. AD's more likely to go off for like 80 to 90. But if you pretty much need to pencil in 50 to 60, I think LeBron's the guy. If I can fit in both, if some good value, some good cheap value opens up, obviously we'll be trying to do that. But right now LeBron's my favorite stud, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play both. So AD will most likely only be saving for tournaments today unless some just really cheap value opens up. But if we do look for other power forward plays, not really trying to jam in AD today at power forward because I like some of these mid-tier options. Larry Nance Jr. got absolutely loved today at 6,300 in a matchup against Denver. Was very high on him last game, as a lot of people were. He was just such a good play in that game against Detroit. Played 32 minutes, started for Tristan Thompson, who was out, and put up 47 DraftKings points. Nance, I would imagine, is going to continue to start because Thompson's going to be out for a while. I believe it's like 1 to 2 weeks. And this is a spot where Nance is going to continue to play big minutes. I feel like 30-plus minutes should be guaranteed for Nance if this game stays competitive. He's going to have to be on the court to guard Jokic. They always have Plumlee, Millsap, Denver has a lot of bigs they can put on the court, so Nance is going to be needed here. He's going to play 30-plus minutes, I feel like, and at 6,300, that honestly might be too cheap of a price for Larry Nance when he's playing 30-plus minutes. The guy's just such a good point-per-minute producer. When he's on the court, he's going to score, grab rebounds. We saw that last game. 22 points and 15 rebounds in 32 minutes, had 47 DraftKings points. Nance has a lot of upside, could easily get 6, 7, possibly 8x on this price tag, so I do really like him at power forward in that mid-range. He's my favorite play, like in the 6K range. If we go a little bit cheaper, there are some good plays here. 5K or 6K and under I like. Zach Randolph, I think, could definitely be a good play today. We already know that Willie Cauley-Stein is going to be out. Randolph hasn't played in a while. He's fully rested, so he should be playing today. If Randolph, we can confirm, is in the starting lineup. Usually if Randolph is not in the starting lineup, then that means he's not going to play. Hopefully we get a Kings lineup before lock. And if we can confirm Randolph's going to start and play at least as close to full minutes. Randolph is a good producer when he's on the court. He will get you some fantasy points. He has had some success in this matchup as well. Through 3 games this year against the Pelicans, he's averaged 31 minutes and he's played an average of 31 minutes and has put up an average of 45 DraftKings points. So really dominated in this matchup. 5,800, kind of too cheap of a price for Zach Randolph if he's going to be on the court playing full minutes today. So I do like him. You have Scal though as a pivot for 300 cheaper. Scal is questionable, but I have a good feeling he's going to play. If maybe Randolph sits and Scal starts, then Scal, a good option there at 5,500 if you want to play him. But then if we're looking for the cheap value, sub 5K, not a ton I see here I'm absolutely in love with that really sticks out to me. Maybe Jay Crowder as a punt play you could go to. Maybe Jabari Parker. You can play ARIZA power forward, but I don't think these guys are like really locked for value. So I think that's really it for power forward. Moving on to center, we obviously have AD up top here. You got Drummond, Jokic, kind of like Gobert, Gasol, other stud options. I'm most likely not going to be paying up at this position. I just don't like a lot of the top options like Drummond against Toronto. Drummond has had a lot of success in this matchup at 9,500. He'd probably be my favorite stud play besides Davis, but not a guy I feel like I have to have. Jokic has really been struggling with Paul Millsap returning. Jokic has really taken a step down, so not really sure I want to play him. Gobert's in a great spot against the Pacers, a bad team at defending centers, but 8,400 for Gobert kind of feel like it's a little bit too expensive. Don't really like a lot of these stud centers, at least for cash. I think there are good cash plays like in this mid-range. Not really sure if you can consider this guy a cash play, but Jonas Valanciunas at 5,500 against Detroit. I absolutely love today for tournaments. I think he's actually cash game viable today because I think the minutes are going to be there for Valanciunas. Going up against Detroit, we know this team has a big front court with Drummond and Blake Griffin. This is a spot where Valanciunas is going to have to be on the court to guard those guys. He's played decent minutes this year against Detroit. Obviously, some of those games were without Blake Griffin. I believe both of them were without Griffin. Average of 24 minutes and an average of 28 DraftKings points this year against Detroit before they got Griffin. Now you add Griffin, you add a big body. That's just one more reason for Valanciunas to have to be on the court. And at 5,500 for Valanciunas playing 25, 30 minutes, don't see how he doesn't pay off this price. I know he had a pretty nice game on Tuesday against the Hawks. Going right back to the well here with Valanciunas. I think we see him get really good minutes and really crush value on this price. So I love him at 5,500. You also got Scal, Randolph, 2 other guys in that 5K range. And then going cheap, sub 5K, maybe Kosta Koufos at 4,400 if we can confirm that Randolph's not going to play and like Scal starts at power forward and Koufos starts at center. Koufos has been starting for WCS, but Randolph has not been playing. Have a good feeling Randolph's going to return, so that's kind of going to hurt Koufos. Not sure if we can really go there at 4,400, but he is an option. But that's really it for center for the cheap value, at least plays that really stick out to me. So I think that's really it for this position, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you did enjoy and hopefully it did help you. Make sure you drop a like if you have not already, and if you haven't subscribed yet as well, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or just leave a comment down below. Comment anything, guys. Always read in the comment section, so feel free to do that as well. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.